everyone, hope you're all doing well. I just want to give you, I guess, a final update on my steamed cheese. This now has been aging, I'd say, over a month. It's nice and firm, almost like a Parmesan. So, it is a cheese that you can age if you do it right and you keep the moisture away from it. That means changing your paper, making sure your hands are clean. This cheese, it also will firm up like a Parmesan. So I'm just going to cut into it to show you. I did have a little bit, I think it was last week, and the flavors are amazing. The taste is really good. And now you have a cheese that you can grate on pasta, and if you want, you could just simply have a bowl of fruit and just cut up some of this cheese if people are coming over, some crackers, and you have a beautiful cheese to serve that really didn't cost you much except for the pulp of the nuts. But if you're going to be making nut milk, or if you're going to be making creamer, you're going to have that pulp anyhow. And if you have way too much of that pulp, what you can also do is you can freeze it. Put that pulp in a freezer, and then when you need it, pull it out and make some delicious cheese. Don't let that pulp go to waste, because you can actually utilize it in so many recipes. My daughter has made a banana cake with it, so maybe she will make a recipe for you guys. I'm going to ask her to if she doesn't mind. But you can put it in banana cake. You could put it in any kind of like a dry dehydrated cracker. I have a biscotti recipe that you can use, or you could simply just put it back and put it in some cheese. So I'm going to cut this up for you. Here we go. I've also been trying to create a cheese where you don't have to use the pulp, and it's really going to cost you no money at all. And I have already tried. The only thing is I used a dark miso. I'm going to show you. Now, this cheese here was a test cheese. I didn't have any more of my white miso, so I went ahead and used my dark miso. So the cheese is very dark. There you go. But this is made with no pulp whatsoever. I did not use any coconut oil. I used sunflower oil, so you know that it is possible. You don't need to use the coconut oil. You could just use plain sunflower oil or avocado oil, whatever oil you want. The only thing is, if you're going to use a dark miso, your cheese is going to get a little darker. I did put some paprika in it, so I'm not crazy about the color, but the flavors are amazing. So it's not that you can't make it. Yes, you can. So I am going to try again and get that perfect recipe for you with the white miso, and see what else I can use to make this cheese the best cheese you can have. Now, this one here cuts just as nice. Oh yes, and I didn't use Kappa, I used agar, guys. And there you go. The cheese worked out fantastically. So it is possible, guys. There's ways of not having to spend a lot of money. I'm going to pop this in my mouth because it's so good. Very good. And I'm going to show you this one. But it is possible to make cheese out of very simple ingredients, and it is just simply delicious, and you can utilize it in so many ways. And if somebody's going to come on you and say that's not cheese, well, it is cheese for us. I'd rather have this than harm any animal whatsoever. Okay, so this is over a month. I'm sure it's still nice and wet inside. Not wet, but like a fresh cheese, as if you're cutting a cheese. And I just want to show you the snap, because it is starting to become like a Parmesan cheese. There you go. And this you can grate. But again, you don't have to wait for it to age. I like it aged because I like that firm cheese. If I'm eating like a piece of bagel or a cracker, I just like to put one of these on top and maybe have some peaches on the side, and I enjoy eating it that way. Or you can take it and you could grate it on top of pasta. So I do let some of it age. If it does get a chance to age, because sometimes we're just enjoying it so much we never get it to that point. But there you go. Very simple, very easy. I have a recipe up for this cheese, plus I have an update, I think it was a week later, to show you what it looks like. And this now is over a month. So this cheese has been in the refrigerator for over 4 weeks, and it's still beautiful inside, and it's still delicious. I wish you can taste how good this cheese really is. But remember, cleanliness. Your hands have to be clean. You got to make sure you're pulling moisture out. I usually coat the outside of my cheese with some starch. And if I see the starch is getting way too wet, I just simply knock what I can out of it, and I restarch it, and new paper, and let that paper pull out that moisture. But there you go, guys. Okay, guys. Also, I want to emphasize something. People are so concerned. You know, they all want to go vegan, and they don't like what happens to animals. A lot of people go vegan after they see those videos of those dairy cows stuck on those machines. Yet they're so obsessed with melting of cheese. Personally, I don't care if the cheese melts or not. What I care about is the taste of the cheese. So think about it, guys. If you make a batch of cheese and your cheese doesn't melt like the ones like you were accustomed to when you used to go out and buy mozzarella cheese for the top of your pizza, or for whatever reason, I'd rather not have cheese on my pizza knowing that these animals are abused. Today, people go to the store and they buy that cheese where those cows were attached to a machine from morning till night. Their udders are so destroyed just by being attached to those machines. When you can make cheese, and like I said, even if it doesn't melt, but it tastes good, who cares? Really, who cares? Knowing that you stopped consuming something that is so horrible, because nobody looks beyond the picture, how those cows got there, and how long have they been attached to those machines. Nobody looks at that. They just look at the end result, which is that cheese that you go pick up at the store. So remember, guys, if you make cheese and it doesn't melt, who cares? Does it taste good? Can you still use it? Fine. It doesn't melt on your pizza? Don't put it on your pizza. You really don't need cheese on pizza for pizza to taste good. So remember that it's not all about the melting of the cheese. It's the reason why we're doing this. Yes, some people are doing it for their health. Well, this is a lot healthier than the dairy cheese, because that dairy cheese is so full of cholesterol and everything else that they give to those poor animals. Trust me, if you know what they eat, you're not going to even want to eat that cheese. So you say to yourself, you know what? This cheese here might not melt, but you know what? It's delicious. I enjoy it on a piece of bread. My kids love taking a little piece of this as a snack. And guess what? I didn't have to be part of the system where those cows are abused daily. I think I've shown you. If not, I'm going to have to make another video. But basically, you can make a fast cheese. It takes 2 minutes, especially if you have pizza in the oven. 2 minutes on the stove, and then you pour it on your pizza. Guys, your neighbor, your meat-eating friend will never know that that wasn't cheese on top of your pizza. Your food isn't just what you put on the table. It's being mindful and aware of where your food came from and how it got there. So remember, guys, cheese can be just as delicious if it's made out of rice, guys. So I love you, and I'll see you in my next video.
For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to Connie's Rawsome Kitchen. Give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.